the sun, me, you, palm trees, ocean breeze, paradise. Roll up that purple, we bout to get high tonight. Feed me that pussy, I got a big tight. Beat up that kitty like we done just had a fight. He know what he want, but he don't know what you like. He on the lights tonight, I'm enjoying the sights. Look me in my eyes, I can't deep in the sight. She lights up my life, I only see her at night. But I only see her at night. I think she's sexy. I think she's smart. Only if she ready. In the heart. Baby, listening to Jordan, she rolling, we never slide. Hold the blood while you hold me, I hope we get to the top. Said I hope we get to the top. Me and you. Roll up that purple, we bout to get out tonight. Feed me that pussy, I got a big appetite. Coming in naked, we bout to make love tonight. Tell me what you want and I'll make sure that it's right. Anywhere that we go.
Peace. How's everybody doing this evening? It's the Hood Mystic representing www.hoodmystic.com. How's everybody feeling? Yeah, man. So as of recently, I've been kind of dealing with some personal things, various personal things of all different kinds of degrees. One level of these personal things is spiritual development, which is the main level, which is the foundation. And part of spiritual development, certain things have to be torn down. A lot of it is within you, and when your body kind of break down in certain types of ways, it generally is a setup for a build-up. So I kind of go into it with that mindset. Usually lasts about a week, and from there we bounce back and come better than ever. Right now I'm about 50-50, as far as health. Like, probably my breath is kind of gonna be short, and I'm not gonna be like super geeked or pumped up or anything like that. Just want to really talk about Mercury going direct, and also Saturn sextile Uranus, and really kind of point to some things that's happening spiritually, and really how to deal with that, and how to really take control back of your life and your world by understanding yourself. Excuse me. So when I say understanding yourself, it's not to say understanding Tasha Jenkins, that was born in Macon, Georgia, in 1978. That's not what I'm talking about, knowing yourself. I'm simply talking about knowing yourself from a multiple level, knowing yourself from a level of a dualistic perception, and dealing with yourself at an energetic, scientific level, as opposed to simply dealing with yourself at an emotional level. And where a lot of it gets messed up and muckied up is when we look at consciousness, or we attempt to study consciousness and factor in our emotions. So it's so clear to me now, and it was clear to me then, but maybe I was super lusty and I wanted to have sex, or I was interested in paying my rent more than I was in my studies. And generally, when it comes to understanding yourself, it's very scary, and it takes you to break down some of the fake walls that you built upon for yourself, And so from there, you have to incorporate this crazy ass side of you and understand that this crazy ass side of you is not so crazy, but it is a balance or a harmony that must be created. Now, this crazy ass side of you, or this negative side, or whatever you want to call it, has been stigmatized by media and society. So much so that it's been completely cut off to you, that it's like, you know, what your energy would be called today. If you were to call it something today, it would be like a zombie or a monster or a villain or an anti-hero or a mutant or a Cthulhu or Nyarlathotep or some type of monstrous figure, Frankenstein, you know, droid, animal, beast, you know, all of these things that you don't particularly want to be identified with, so much so that I said you immediately get a disconnect from it. And this is by design. And so part of consciousness, part of true consciousness, part of outside of the internet, outside of the new age, outside of, you know, this will make me cool if I post this on Instagram, outside of that is another level of consciousness that is very much monstrous. And this energy has to be understood as well. So I bring all of this up because Mercury is doing something peculiar with Neptune. It's as if, you know, Mercury is very fast moving. It's a fast moving planet, right? Yeah, that's what us touched on for sure. But Mercury is a fast moving planet, and I'll get into us if y'all stick with me through this video. I'm not gonna like talk about us in particular. I'm gonna just bring up more examples of explanation of this particular energy. But excuse me one second. So like this. So if they put all of these movies out and they particularly point into a particular energy that's exactly like you, but it's not you. It may be a little bit different than you, but it's your higher power. And if this concept sounds strange, like Hood Mystic, that sounds weird, bro. I got about like 6 movies that I can think of off the top of my head that really speaks to that I'm gonna show at the end of this video. But I'm sure throughout the live, other people can add into this. The comments can't. Like, I know that there's mad other movies that I just can't even think of off the top of my head. But I remember these movies in particular because these movies have me in a particular zone. Like, these movies, I'm really trying to figure out, like, what the hell is 2 people, but they actually the same person? Like, what is that? Like, the doppelganger or the double? Like, what is that? And do we address this in regular conversation? You know, do we address this? Do we understand this? Or am I just Kyrie? Or are you just Tamika? See, when we talk about revolution, when we talk about our comeuppance, when we talk about, what's the shit they want to talk about? Reparations. You know, when we want to talk about things of that nature, can we talk about spirituality too? Can we talk about spiritual downloads and spiritual upgrades as sage wisdom alluded to? Because that's what I'm dealing with. And if I'm going to get on this live and talk about anything, I'm going to talk about that type of thing because I understand things about my life Not even my personal life, because I've experienced my quote unquote waking personal life. I know all about what elementary school I went to and who don't like me, and the girls that cheated on me and the girls that I cheated on, etc., etc. I know that story. But when it comes to who I am eternally or spiritually, where my dreams begin to connect, that recurring dream where it is this, this mound field, and I'm doing all different types of things, and I have this recurring dream. Where's this dream at? Oh, this dream is at this particular place. And who am I energetically? Well, you was born on this particular date. That date speaks to a particular energy that is connected to this particular place. And this place is the same landscape as the place that's in your dreams. Wow. Sitting here talking to it with my wife. Wow. And it's interesting. And it'd be real interesting when you figure out your destiny or where you should move or where you should go to, when spirit speaks to you and alludes to you of your direction in life. Nobody is telling you you should do this or nothing like that, but spirit is speaking very clearly, very matter of fact. This is what I want to speak to. This is what Mercury conjunct Neptune is. And Mercury is a very fast moving planet. I don't know if I got to finish my thought. What Neptune is doing, it is kind of like creating a particular vortex where it is strictly staying in a particular space, circling around Neptune, almost rotating around it like a moon or a particular satellite. It's soaking up all of that third eye energy. And this is such a beautiful space and time. And what is blocking the individual from experiencing all that I'm speaking of is you worried about your own personal fucking life. And albeit we got personal lives, like I care about my personal life. Don't get me wrong. I care about it so much that it's irrelevant. It's the same way as I care about my finger. Like if you cut off my finger, I'm going to be very disappointed because I really appreciate my finger. I like my finger. I think I got nice, slender, long fingers. Like my fingers, I could have fat, stubby fingers. But I'll be damned if I sit and talk to you about my motherfucking fingers. Fat, stubby, slender, long. It really, my fingers are a part of me. You're going to take my fingers, whether, like if I did miss a finger, you was going to take me or leave me because of that. So when it becomes to, when I understand my personal life as my fucking finger, completely irrelevant to my conscious development. If I can just get past that point, then I'm able to see all of the cool spiritual shit that, damn, I am this, this is me, or, this is us, or that makes a lot of sense. That explains my energy and the connections that I'm making in the synergy that's created between me and my wife, because it's good to have a wife. It's good to have a partner, because that's a dialogue. That's like an index of all of the crazy shit, right? You need a recorder, you need a point of this relationship makes way more sense now. It always made sense, but I'd be damned if I be married to a woman because she has good sex, and she could have good sex, and generally sex is good, but if I'm conscious and I'm having a conversation about my wife, then it has to be something very ancestral linking us together, or else she's not my wife. This is because I'm conscious, though. I cannot be conscious and marry her because she's beautiful, or marry her because the pussy is good, or marry her because she has a lot of money, or marry her because she treats me good. when you conscious, you either get all of that shit, none of that shit, but 100% it does not matter, because there's an ancestral link that, ooh, it could only be you. It could only be us. And that's Dharma. And so that's what Mercury and Neptune is presenting a person who wants it, Dharma. Because when it can only be you and it can only be us, there is no obstruction. There is no bad days. There is no frustration. You only experience that shit because you are linked in karma, where you dealing with the human laws of every action has a reaction, which could be good. You can master it, or you could be fucking that shit up. Every action has a reaction, baby. Your reactions is shitty. You mad, you sad, you upset, you going through shit. There's no peace, there's no understanding, there's no relaxation, because you are particularly jaded. And jaded is when you have a set of expectations that you, like, every day I want to be a millionaire, and every day I have $10 in my bank account. I become jaded. I become desensitized to the world. I think that nobody loves me because I'm not rich. 100% of the problem is that I've never been taught how to become rich. So therefore, love. Every day, I'm talking about is 40, 50-year-olders. Wake up every day, want to experience love. Never experience it. Become jaded to niggas, become jaded to women, and now you bitter beer face every day. But you were never taught that love is a choice that an individual makes. You could have given that love daily, and like, we can never expect love. Love is something of a understanding of the world. Every action has an equal reaction, and in that space, life presents itself as a constant contradiction. You have to always be up on what action is going to bring about a particular reaction, or how I do it, my reaction is always set. I don't give a fuck either way. People don't necessarily know. I'm gonna be promoting my shit, about my shit, broke or rich. That's me, though. I'm gonna take care of my family and put my family first, broke or rich. I've polarized or normalized my reaction. Therefore, every action has a particular reaction of investing and reinvesting and really just enjoyment, really. I just like enjoy my children, enjoy my wife, and, you know, help people and hope other people grow, and, you know, understand that this energy is not necessarily about my own personal life. It's really about us and really about my actions moving forward. So my actions have been towards health and purging and getting the toxins out of my body. Because I don't give a, like, me personally, I don't feel like shit. We can talk about all the fly shit in the world, but if toxins rest in my body, then, like, I can't, that's the root. So literally, where I've been at is a place called Physiology. And I've been studying physiology. And what I've come to find out is that physiology is the root of all study. Like, physical, understanding the physical world. Because if you don't understand the physical world, you fucked. And the physical world and the quantum reality work hand in hand. Generally, you could particularly live forever if you took care of yourself. You could easily tap into the quantum reality if you took care of yourself, because therefore you have a particular space where your life could triple, quadruple, and live on exponentially, because your body is fine-tuned and developed, and you don't have any toxins in your body, and you're living in tune with nature. And I know this shit seems far out, but you gotta really factor in your fucking diet before you feel a certain type of way about what I'm saying. And I'm not even saying that, I'm the king of veggies out this bitch. I'm saying that I gotta slow my roll when I talk about proper diet. And it ain't about being vegan. It's about having a proper nutritional balance that suits your brain chemical makeup. And maybe you don't factor that in, right? Like, for instance, you might not factor in, like, your brain might be lacking the proper nutrients that it need. It might not have enough calcium ioretate or something. I might just made that shit up, but maybe you need calcium ioretate, and it's a scientist that know that you need calcium ioretate, so they'll take it out of all the foods and out of all the grocery stores, restaurants. You can't find it. So for some reason, you just feel like something missing in your mood, like you might snap. You might feel a certain type of way. A lot of it is based upon supplements being purposely taken out the food, and that's why a lot of this shit is off balance. And I don't even know how long I've been on a supplemental diet. Let's see. What's this, March? I say about 4 months. I've been really taking my supplements daily, and I just wouldn't necessarily advise a person that's interested in anything as far as betterment of life to not have their physical health right first, and have enough green intake first, and have your emotions balanced first, and then try to approach and move forward with the proper energy, endurance, and clarity necessary. And all of this is me clearly speaking to Mercury conjunct Neptune, where your personal development, your personal soldier, spiritual soldier, is soaking up game. And the game that he's soaking up is much more of a, I need to figure out what it takes to make it. And if what it takes to make it is good health, I'm gonna have to do the good health shit. If sanity is what I need to make it, then I'm gonna have to figure out this mental health shit. If emotional intelligence is what I need to make it, I'm gonna have to figure out this emotional intelligence shit. I'm gonna have to do the inner working shit first and foremost, before we talk about anything, before we, and this is what this Mercury retrograde showed me, because I was particularly sick, particularly incapacitated, or I felt not like, well, I don't want nobody to feel bad for me, because I didn't feel bad for myself, but the thought occurred to me like, damn, when you sick, man, you really fucking sick. It ain't really shit nobody can do for you. Maybe the doctor can't do shit for you. Maybe the herbs can't do shit for you. Like, if you fucked up, you really, that's a scary thought. But at a certain level, you can't even give that shit no space in your mind. Like, I have conversations with people, and I know this shit sound far out too. Like, man, we the generation that's gonna figure out how to live forever. Like, we're not even gonna age. But it's not a level of, simply ease and just the shit coming to you. I hope, in understanding Mercury conjunct Neptune at this particular point as it goes direct, we understand that this comes with a particular action plan. Every action has a reaction, and if we understand the idea of reaction, then we can understand magic. So every magical endeavor is about encompassing a particular reaction that you want. You don't want the particular thing that you're intending on. You want the particular reaction that you're gonna get internally from having that thing, be it house, lover, career, etc., etc. Car, your neighbor. Ooh, I'll be wanting to talk to y'all about so much shit. I was thinking about y'all the other day, and I was like, man, somebody got a really fucked up neighbor that's destroying their vibration right now, and they really gotta move, because that neighbor energy is a motherfucker, man. And if you don't purge that neighbor energy, it's gonna seep into your walls, and you gotta do something about that. But that's just a hood mystic sidebar. But let's move on to Mercury and Aquarius. I got a lot of shit to talk to y'all, man. Y'all know I don't be doing this shit every day, so and I'm gonna take my time with this one. I don't really got much to do, but I got a lot to say. So if it's ever a point where it's like too wordy and y'all trying to figure out where I'm going or where I'm coming from, just email me and get asked to add to the notes. The link is still valid. The notes is still being utilized at this very moment. So, rock with me on that level too. We want to be a all-encompassing platform. We don't just want to be, somebody just talking. We really want to apply and utilize these notes. But the second astrological aspect that I wanted to discuss was Venus in Aquarius, sextile Uranus in Aries. And of course, we're utilizing the Vedic aspect where Neptune in Pisces is, Neptune, they say it's in Pisces, is actually in Aquarius, but I guess that's neither here nor there. If we understand what it's speaking to, if we understand that our actions particularly put out a vibration in the universe that is a particular opposite vibration to what we're actually experiencing, and this is the root of alchemy. And this is the root of, why you may have had a difficult life, or why things weren't particularly how you wanted it to be. There's a particular energy out there where it is what you want it to be. So it's important to tap into that. And that moment is now. And a lot of things that I'm talking about is extremely energetic. It's not very what happened on the news today type of shit, what's going on with your girlfriends, and to that level, you know what I'm saying? It's more or less of esoteric. If you wanted like an example of what I'm talking about, just get one of them daily channeled messages, and you have the voice today is the day where, it's one of them, this is straight up spiritual. And that's kind of where Venus in Aquarius is at. As much of a fireworks of energy, like a huge explosion of energy, a vast reservoir of energy, where one could really do some amazing things. But it's some keys to it that where it's I don't understand that, hood mystic. That ain't making no sense to me. It's because you thinking about yourself. To go through a life where you constantly ask questions and you constantly try to figure out as to what is actually going on in this world that we living in, and to get some answers. And then the next thing you figure out is like, what do you do with it? You help other people. I set the example, at least I hope to set the example, is that I want to like pay it forward and always look to other people and always try to help each other out and keep that line open, and not be like, you know, this nigga here think he this, or, you know, like, even though I do get that, but at the end of the day, people fuck with me or people rock with me because it's genuine. I genuinely am here for the helpings. Like, that's what it's about. And what was revealed to me about the healers before me, or the conscious people that have helped me, that they wasn't doing it to help nobody. They was doing it for their own personal shit. And this generation has to understand that we can't fall into that same trap of personal success. If we spiritual, at every turn, we have to open our doors, open our arms, show that the spirituality is more to loving and connectedness, and having a real life purpose for this particular life and the lives preceding it. We have woken up to our power. We have understood our spiritual energy, and we not gonna be fucking celebrities and fuel fucking white supremacy or nothing to that effect. We're going to focus our spiritual energy and raise our communities, raise our tribes, raise our families, connect in deep ways that people never thought we could connect. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to access it. And I tell people this all the time. I had a lot of like working, like, for some reason I found myself on this corporate board. I don't know how I got, like, I just was in this corporate board. We would just meet weekly or monthly or something to that effect. And my job was to do the nonprofit. And I did like a lot of nonprofit research, close to a year, maybe a year and a half. And what I gathered was that you could literally write as much money as you possibly could, you know, with enough like checks and balances. If it checked out and if it balanced out, people would give you as much money as you needed if the focus was on helping others. If you had a particular motive and you were focused on helping others, people will give you money. If you can make money, if you can show a profit, people would give you, invest in you. There's plenty of people like that. But that comes from a course of action, and that's very different from wanting money. Shit, it's plenty of great women, giving, loving, appreciative, exactly what you need. But are you the type of man that is ready to take that lead role and be that man that she needs, though? Or are you not really ready? Or for the vice versa. A lot of great men out here. It's a lot of great people. But within ourselves, we have to know that our partners, our romances, they can be of the spiritual quality or they could be of the regular mundane quality. And I generally am not just talking to just like everybody here that's just like, you know, just your average run-of-the-mill folk. It's like, I'm really interested in this spiritual stuff. I listen to Bobby Hemmett all day. I be buying crystals and, you know. And I'm like, you know, what are you doing with it, though? What is the Dharma about? What, like, because in Dharma, there is no obstructions. You're able to create. You able to see your magic. You able to see. You able to know. You're not really doubting. So, walking into this, stepping into this, understanding that, your wildest dreams can come true if you really understand. Like, and maybe it's like, I don't want to help nobody. I don't really want to help nobody. I don't really care about people. I have my phone, my Wi-Fi. I don't need nobody. Well, you still hurt. and this conversation ain't for you. But you know you heal when you can see the problem with people. It's not that they don't have enough money. It's not that they single. It's not that they ugly. It's not that they, you know, whatever problem that they think that it's not that they lost somebody or whatever. It's not that they got dumped or any plethora of problems or reasons that people can have for hanging their head down in 2019 is because they're not connected to their double. They don't even understand that they have a double. So let's get scientific. let's look into this scientifically. So I have a soul. My wife has a soul, but the relationship has a soul too. And we ain't in relationships thinking about that though. We thinking about relationships on a personal level and how they personally like do what we make, like, you know, they skin tone, they financial, they upbringing. But the lovers speaks to a very different type of relationship. The lover speaks to a relationship that's very different. And it's not to piss nobody off. It's not to ruin your reputation. It's really understanding that you can't be in particular karma based upon particular images. So you have to step outside of what's expected to you just because when you do it, when you step outside of the norm, you already setting the precedence of, you know, what am I trying to say? Like, you are already setting the precedence that you are outside of the norm. So it's not like, you know, if I'm gonna wear mismatched socks or something, it's like I've already said that I'm gonna wear mismatched socks. As a matter of fact, it's mismatched socks day. Like, mismatched socks is a thing now because I've made it a holiday. Like, that's Venus and Aquarius. That's the lovers. Like, that's like whatever I decide is, it takes precedence because I'm literally taking this stand. And it's like, where's this coming from? It must be coming from my soul. Like, I must not be vibrating with you, or I must this, like, so, like, my readers, if you get this card, like, a choice needs to be made. And the choice is usually the corresponding card. So whatever card comes after this card is related to the particular choice, because we're dealing with particular souls here and collective souls. And we make bad decisions when it comes to relationships. We be in relationships because of trauma. We be in relationships because they brought you food that one time when you was hungry. Like, all the wrong reasons. Stupid shit. Are you with somebody that you're transforming with? Are you with somebody that's kind of breaking you out of your shell, breaking you out of your norm? Or are you with somebody that is, you know, making this shit super comfortable? If you in a comfortable ass relationship right now, this energy right now is disrupting and destroying you and making you scratch your head. You need to figure out, why is you so uncomfortable? Because on the other side of that is something much more beautiful and much more satisfactory. So it's like, with this card, you really have to ask questions. And then with this card, it's particularly tied into energy that we don't particularly talk about a lot. A real energy titled Eros, which represents the soul over the relationship. And the thing about relationships is that that soul exists over a particular relationship for a particular time, and then it moves on. And then you might feel it. You know how you be texting and you be flirting and you like, yeah, this got some promise, cause Cupid is over that. But Cupid ain't gonna be over that forever. And then it's like, you hit up old boy or you hit up old girl a couple months later, like, hey, remember we was chatting over Messenger a couple months ago? And you know how they hit you back? They always hit you back with the, who is this? Who is this? You be like, yeah. Woo. I thought we had something. See, y'all be sleeping on that shit. If Eros ain't on top of your relationship, you know Eros ain't on top of your relationship. Eros might be on top of a whole nother relationship right now, and it might be good for you. But then again, Venus in Aquarius, if you born Venus in Aquarius or some aspect of it, that shit be moving around like that shit. Like life ain't no goddamn that's a bad example, because they ain't even have no women on Full House. Life ain't an episode of Family Matters. If anything, it's an episode of Will Smith with the two different wives. I'm Vivian being two different people. If anything, this idea gotta be with one person and love this one person for life, or my life ain't worth living, or people gonna look at me crazy, or I done got too tied up in this paperwork and the divorce is gonna be too expensive. We got too many kids. All the wrong reasons to not follow Eros, because Eros is an ancient energy. It don't give a fuck about the paperwork you signed. It don't give a fuck if she's a black girl and you a white girl, and you a white guy and she a black girl. You know why? Because that shit is happening. Yo, black power ass, and whatever you feel, that shit, Eros is happening. Man on man, girl on girl. It is happening. And it's way more powerful than you gritting your teeth and clenching your fists. and talking about how people need to be this and people, you ain't used to do that in my day. See, the thing of it is, in your day, shit was worse. Shit was way worse than the 90s. As far as sexual activity, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me. That was a me thing. Let me shut the fuck up, because I don't know nothing about what's going on in that level. But I tell you this though, a relationship is bliss, and it should serve you psychologically, and it doesn't always have to serve you physically. How about this? You should take care of yourself physically, so you should be able to fucking enjoy and understand the intricacies of man or woman, and the beauty of, you know, a man that drives a bike to work, and see what his life's about, and not feel like, oh, I need a nigga that's gonna take care of me. And hey, that ain't gonna happen all the time. Like, so you gonna miss out on a lot of beautiful ass relationships because you think that a man's supposed to take care of you. It's a lot of beautiful men that's artists, poets, that, you know, can show you a great time, can show you beautiful, wonderful things. They might not got two nickels to rub together though, but they very artistic, they very gifted, and you don't even have to set it up to whereas, yo, you should move in with me, oh, we should be together. Like, no, you was a beautiful soul, I love you, I care about you, but when it comes to life, that's a me thing. I gotta do that, you know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure I do that. But you, I want to enjoy you, experience you, know you, without fucking society intervening on what I should expect in this interaction. From there, we could start to grow with each other, you know? And that's kind of what the Lovers is speaking to. And it's very scientific. It's not emotional. Meaning that relationships, you want to follow the emotions. The thing of it is that you trap yourself in particular relationships, and you don't necessarily know how to get out. But everything rests and resides in a contradiction that we put ourselves in, a particular hell that we put ourselves in for some, I don't know, for some reason. So these are all movies that I've seen that always have, like, I've had to see like more than once and kind of have me in a trance. Well, all of these movies speak to two, maybe three existences existing at the same time, and one of these existences is like, you know, a woe is me type of character, always fucking up and getting mistreated at the job, and the girl he like, you know, end up having sex with their friend or end up going to jail. Something crazy always happening to this person. But then on the other side, it's like this bout it version that get it cracking, got all the girls, can whoop everybody's ass, and it's just the alternate opposite version of this weak version of yourself. And I bring all of this up to say, I'm really trying to really think to myself for this question, like, why is they putting out these movies? What are they alluding to? Whether it be psychological, physiological, physical, metaphysical, psychological, I said that, philosophical, like, what the hell? Is it just like I'm to the point where it just can't be entertainment? Because I seen Gucci Man go to jail looking one way and get out looking a whole nother way. I seen every rapper go to jail one way. I seen Meek Mill come out a whole activist. And the list goes on and on and on. And I like the idea of cloning centers. I'm like, I ain't never been to no cloning center. None of my homeboys ever worked at a cloning center, but the shit it gotta be something to it. Like I know it's people smarter than me in this world, and hey man, it be two different people, and then the shit hit me like 10 tons of bricks. I was like, oh shit. I was like, my ass went to prison too. I went to prison like shit. And I swear to y'all, I came out a whole different person. My friends, they could bear witness. If you never knew somebody that knew me before prison and after prison, I'm worse than Gucci Man. And I'm like, damn. Something really do happen to you when you rip yourself out of everything that you've been doing. It's like a other side of me took over that I didn't even know existed. Like I always tell this story when I went to jail. That was the first time I ever decided to do push-ups, and they was hitting the push-up. They was like 20, you know what I'm saying, one. They was just in the, I was like, okay, I'm about to go down there and bust some one. I did about 3. I was like, oh shit, it's about to be real bad. But you know, over time that changed, and I lost a lot of weight in prison, and changed a lot about myself. I think in prison, that's when I read my first book. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never even read a book up until I went to prison and shit. Like, so a lot of things changed in me, and a lot of things clicked, and I really became like a man. And I guess it's a level of rites of passage that it really has to be some difficult shit that you really have to endure that makes you want to change and become a better person. And then it's not like, oh, once I got out of prison, I was perfect. Like, nah. Hell no. Getting out of prison, I entered into a whole nother prison, and I left that prison and walked into a whole nother prison, and now, like, everything becomes a prison when you make particular decisions, and part of consciousness is stepping out of that prison, and part of stepping out of that prison is becoming united with that other side of you. And that other side of you is, they say, like shadow, and it's like shadow or whatever that case may be, but it might be the person that you look at in the mirror every day. Might be a whole different entity that is a particular slave that's under a particular spell. This is kind of spooky because it's just coming to me, right? So the enchantment is on your shadow self, and you're not, and the shadow thinks that it's you, and you think that the shadow is you, and it's like it's in the mirror world. In the mirror world is like, it mirrors this world, but you know, it's limitless and you can access it or whatever. But some people know about, like, you know, mirror magic, and other people just be like, you know, how I look. And so that person on the other side of the mirror is kind of like your slave. So part of magic, part of occult, part of awakening yourself is freeing that person on the other side of the mirror. Now, that's strange as fuck, and that's weird as hell. but I'm speaking it as it's like entering into my mind. So I'm gonna have to listen to this again, because right now I'm just like, what the fuck? Because I literally put this video together and I'm really trying to study this and understand this for myself. And I meant to preface the whole video by, all right, y'all, I'm getting these downloads. I don't know what the fuck is they talking about, but I want to put this video out and hopefully I can get some understanding by just putting the information as I'm receiving it. And so that's what it is to me. Okay. So the download is, and you could take this shit or leave it, because I don't know this shit to be fact. I ain't do no research on this or nothing. I mean, just regular research, but it's really like, if I spoke on this before, or if I made any recollection of this, it's really hitting me now. But yeah, I don't know. All right, so I was just more or less like, I was just really just speaking that out. So I was just looking at the chat like, okay, that make a lot of sense. And I just was hoping that y'all was with me on that. I ain't want nobody like, what the fuck is you talking about, nigga? Like, you sound real crazy. But I know I sound crazy. That's why I'm like here, like, this shit is crazy. But it's like, you know, you still doing your regular work shit. You still doing your regular taking care of the family shit. But all of that shit said, man, it's some real spiritual shit happening. And man, I don't know where it's leading or what it's speaking to. But as Mercury goes direct, let's just take a sigh of relief, man. Let's just not ever have no Mercury retrograde like this ever again. And if we do have a Mercury retrograde like this again, let's just hope that we have enough conversation and we help each other out through this shit. Because the thing of it is, we could be going through so much. I really do be tripping off that shit, where it's just like, damn, man. People always figure me to be good, and that's why I gotta always take care of myself. Cause I'd be damned if somebody ever asked me like, man, how you doing? like just be like, it just be straight off like, you know what, I need some help, and you the person that's supposed to help me, so just help me, nigga. And I'll be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? But even when I'm going through shit, it's just like, I just, like, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that paid for readings, I didn't even say nothing. I just sent refunds back, because I ain't have no excuse or nothing. Like, I just couldn't. Like, I was dealing with these downloads, and when your computer downloading or it's doing some installs, like, you just gotta sit there and wait for that motherfucker. Like, it ain't nothing you could do. It's like, it's got a whole install and program itself, and then now you gotta deal with it with these upgrades and things of that nature. So y'all know how I do, man. I'm just here to keep it spiritual, and that's it. I'm gonna leave y'all with this quote, because I found this quote to be very poignant. Let me see who said it. Thomas Jefferson, my nigga. Fix reason firmly in her seat and call to her tribunal every fact, every opinion. So what he's saying is, your reasoning for shit every day that you have, sit that reason in front of you. Like, I gotta get the kids ready for school. Examine that shit. I gotta treat my husband this way. Examine that shit. I gotta cheat on my wife this way. Examine that shit. Joke. But, like, every reason that you have for doing shit, examine it. Call to her tribunal every fact, every opinion. Question with boldness even the existence of a God. Not like this part, because it's like, we would cape for God and we would believe in God, but What have you done for me lately? Ooh. Like, but you know, that's just me. Like, you know, and it's not like, you know, the existence of a God. Like, if you can honestly say, like, yeah, I seen God, he over there on 54th and 9th, you know, selling bean pies. Well, I can take you to him right now. He exists. Then that's one thing. But if we gonna sit here and be up in our imagination bag talking a whole bunch of flim-flam about some shit that we read in some book that some white man wrote 400 years ago and be having real deep talks on this shit, then we need to re-examine that. Because the founding of this country was not founded on religion, believe it or not. The people who created this country, you would call them atheists to a certain degree. I mean, they use religion like they use religion now as, I just don't want to start no trouble, so I'm a Christian. But they don't believe in that shit. They'll fucking kidnap your mama if it meant, you know, protecting their job. So because if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason than that of a blindfolded fear. So therefore, everything that you do must be validated by your spirit, and you've figured out your own constitution at this point. And to that level, you're not living a life based upon no type of fear. And you making your decisions based upon, you know, like I said, the Lovers is about making a particular choice. And once you make that particular choice, it's not gonna be normal. It might be a little difficult. But one thing you know for sure is that you're not living in fucking fear. And that's all you could really ask for in this life. To face your fear and really embrace it and see what life is outside of your fear. Because if you letting fear dictate your life, then this whole conversation is null and void and nothing matters. Like, you would try to start a relationship or try to start a friendship with somebody who really fearful. That shit ain't never gonna work out, because at every turn they're gonna be undermining you because they fearful and you trying to make it work. So hoodmystic@gmail.com, that's the email. Follow me on Instagram. I really like Snapchat, man, but I don't have nobody that talk to me on Snapchat. Is it because I don't do porn? Is that the reason? But please, man, follow me on Snapchat. Me and John, that's me and John's app. Like, me and John, we get in our whatever you avatar bag, and we just, you know, shoot the shit, listen to music or whatever. But then I like messaging and things of that nature on Snapchat. But Slack is another good messenger platform. We got us a little space there if you want to get added to that. Email me, I can easily get you added. That's an easier way to talk to me throughout the day than any other thing. Is better than a phone, because when I'm at work I don't really be on my phone, but I do be on Slack. So hit me up on there. Mercury going direct, we can, you know, start to do some things, start to have some conversations about moving forward. You know, Mercury retrograde was no hoe, and hopefully you made it out with all of your limbs, all of your appendages, and all of your teeth is in order and things of that nature. And, you know, we live to fight another day. So, you know, it's a lot of people who didn't make it through this Mercury retrograde on a serious note, and I'm telling you, it's tough like that. It was really, really tough. So congratulations to you if you made it through to see another day. But there's a lot of work to be done. If you have any set reasons, if you have any set ideas, learn to contradict those ideas, because every action has an opposite reaction. And if you don't fully understand that, you need to start to investigate that in your own personal life. If things are going a particular way for a year, 2 years, it's because you've been doing the same shit for a year, 2 years. Start doing different shit and you'll start to notice different shit happening. And if your reaction is set up to the certain way, where as soon as a person do this, you react a certain way, you attract them that. Because some way in understanding this, you have to understand it in reverse. Set the reaction first, and from the reaction that you want, you'll naturally get the actions that you need to create that reaction that you want, whatever that is, you know. But we'll elaborate on it further, and I'm sure I got more information to come. But for now, I'm gonna end this video. Just peace, peace, peace. I enjoyed the conversation and the conversation that was going on in the chat. So, you know, be sure to hit me up on the email if y'all want to continue this conversation, or on the chat. I mean, on the comments, you know. But I live for the conversation. So reach out, whether that's Instagram, Snapchat, Slack, email, www.hoodmystic.com. I got a lot of shit going on, so I could go a whole nother hour about the shit that I got going on. But I really want to direct people to altercreations.net. That's my wife's website. What I do want to say is that everything that's on that website, we got it in-house. So when you order it, we're sending it straight to you. We're not ordering it from somewhere, or, you know, nothing like that. The candles, we making them. Like, if we gotta make something, whether it's the yoni chairs and things of that nature, we gotta make that, so that's gonna be longer. But as far as herbs, Florida water, sages, all of that stuff is here. We got it here. You place the order, we see the order is being sent out. So it ain't like drop shipping or nothing. Altercreations.net. Please support my wife in this endeavor. Everything that she's doing, everything is, all this business endeavor is her. Any improvement that you see out of me is because of my wife's mastery of herbals and incense and things of that nature. Things she's taught me, things I taught her, and things that, you know, we've learned just doing this shit every day. And herbs, incense, altars, and things of that nature, that is our life. And so we're just creating that. For sure. We're just recreating that in a business form. So, you know, this is something that we're super duper proud of, and I'm like, she did everything on the site, all the drop down boxes, all of the design, like, you know, everything about that site, that's all her. So check out the site. And even if you don't want to purchase anything, if you have any questions about herbs, resins, altars, yoni steams, we here for that too. So be sure to hit up the email that's associated. Like, go visit the website, hit up the contact if you have any questions. But, you know, other than that, I think that's it, man. Hit me up on all of those sites that I mentioned, and, you know, keep it player for the rest of 2019. I think we got a couple more days. Well, one more day, Mercury will be direct. But man, I can't wait, y'all. Peace, peace, peace. I'll see y'all in the next video. In the next video, I'm gonna be talking about the new moon. To be preparing for that new moon next week, so we'll be talking about that. But other than that, man, y'all have a good one.